What is up, guys? Dan from Forward Progress Madden. Welcome back to Subscriber Tips. This week in Sub Tips, I'm going to teach you guys about power blocking. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this is going to be the worst sub tip I will ever do because you truly need two players to do this tip. I can't manually shoot a gap and power block because I need to have both my hands on both controllers, and I've only got two hands. So, well, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you how this applies to a user gap. You're going to have to trust that this is a thing that works. I will try to give you a slight visual proof that there is maybe something to this tactic. It's kind of like one of those conspiracy theory tips that I've had over the years. You know how people believe, maybe like 50% of people believe slide protecting affects the run game, 50% of people believe IDing the mic on the run affects the run game. EA has come out and said that those mechanics do not affect how the run works at all. That's why it leads me to believe that this might be 50-50. But what I want to do is I want to do kind of two examples here to show you this. And the first one is what power blocking is you put the cursor on any of your blockers and you can hold up on the left stick and it'll help them get to the second level. So what I want to do is I want to pay attention to Shaheen here and just kind of watch his indecision of who he wants to block. You can kind of see that he goes for the strong safety. Actually did a pretty good job of blocking the strong safety right there. But there will be times where it feels like he changes who he wants to. You're right there. I mean, you saw right there. He kind of changed who he wanted to block at the last second. And you guys know how this goes in Madden. If you guys have ever wiggled the stick at all in a slight change of direction, I mean, all I'm doing is trying to run between the tackles. I'm just trying to hit that left hole right there. And you can see that me wiggling the stick changes how Shaheen blocks, which could be a real pain because you guys have seen that before. Like, you get a guy one-on-one on the edge, you try to, make a maneuver around the blocker in front of you, and then the blocker that's lead blocking for you swerves and gets you hit sticked in the middle of the field. Now, this one, fortunately, Shaheen was able to get a block on somebody. But you could definitely see how he's definitely looking at Harrison Smith and then is like, oh shoot, I'll just go block this free safety at the last second. And we know how that's gotten us aired out in Madden over the years, particularly on toss calls. Well, if you put the cursor on a guy like that, and I feel like if you hold the stick forward or the D-pad up when you snap the ball, I feel like he goes and heat seeks. Like, he definitely was looking for the strong safety on that play. And then you also see how the wide receiver on that side also kind of changed who he was blocking. He ended up that outside receiver rather went and stalked the free safety on this play. Just kind of, again, you start to see different things when you hold the D-pad up on a blocker. So again, take a look right here. He's going and he kind of changed his vector as I wiggled, which kind of leads me to believe this might be 50-50. But just notice how when I put the cursor on someone else, they get to that second level clean, and then again, Shaheen doesn't go and block on that free safety and I end up getting lit up in the left side. And you can kind of see there, he doesn't really know who he wants to block on a given play. Now again, you're clearly seeing examples where he doesn't do exactly what I want him to when I power block as well. But you can kind of see in general, again, you see how that receiver, when I power block on Shaheen, how that outside receiver comes and gets the safety, which is just really interesting to me. I mean, you can see how he's going and stalking that safety, and then that corner that's not in the run fit is just left out there alone. Now compare that to if I don't do that. Doesn't really get there as quickly. Shaheen has to change his vector, thus the receiver has to change his. I feel like when you do this, it just you end up getting better results out of your line. Now, again, this is mainly reserved for shooting gaps, because the thing that you want is to be able to go on a guard and just shoot him up at the linebacker that's shooting those gaps at you, and that'll help a lot when you're able to do that, because you guys have all seen those defenses, like I said, where your opponent just stands in a spot and then is able to shoot in through a gap. Now this formation doesn't allow for that, but we've definitely seen it in 3-4 odd or 3-2-5 odd, where somebody just goes and stands in that magical spot where the linemen don't target him, and then they fly in untouched for a hit stick, even though it doesn't make sense that they should. Let's see if I can really get an example here. I feel like I'm not going to be able to get one here, but yeah, you're just really not getting it here. But it's like I said, this is a very tough tip to show because I need to be able to be on two controllers at the same time. Practice mode is also kind of one of those things where you might be I don't know if this truly works. But I will tell you this, I did see something on stream the other day. Stiff was facing someone who was manually shooting the gaps. The people in his chat told him to power block. He couldn't figure it out. I called him midstream on the phone, told him how to do it. He started doing it, and then all of a sudden the guy couldn't shoot the gap anymore. So maybe if nothing that I showed you in this video convinced you, like I said from the beginning, I wasn't sure this video would be super convincing. If nothing I showed you in this practice mode video is convincing, try it in game and see if it changes how you feel about it, because I know it changes how I personally feel about it. Again, this could be entirely conspiracy theorist. I might just be blowing smoke up your butts. I wanted to be honest with you from the jump. This, to me, I just wanted to kind of use this video to make you aware that there might be a mechanic in the game that lets you kind of tweak how your line blocks from run play to run play. And even if it's not 100% consistent, that tool can still be valuable to you if it allows you to lab the game in a different manner. So hopefully this is a real thing. If it's not, I'm sorry, but let me know if you guys have any questions.